welcome to The Run. Today we're going to be talking about these. The ATREYU the Artist. The best shoe for a cheap price that you can't get. Welcome. So welcome back to The Run, and today we're going to be talking about the Artist from ATREYU. These are a shoe from Texas, so they are a company who produce shoes at a low cost, super shoes if you like, and they have the base model, the trail model, and they produce them in a small batch every couple of months, and they bring them to the market, and these shoes sell for around about £50, which sounds like an amazing price. And now the shoe itself is a EVA foam, a super critical EVA foam with lots of bounce and spring, rubber outsole, and a full length carbon plate for that snappy ride. The construction of the upper is quite nice. It's hard to describe it really. It feels like cloth here. The construction's actually quite nice, and for £50 I don't know how they're able to produce a shoe as amazing as this. So the idea behind this shoe is that this is a race day shoe, so this should be up against the likes of anything from Saucony, anything from Nike, you know, other than probably like the Vaporflies or the Alpha Flies. But the idea behind the shoe is to keep the prices low, give you a good solid shoe. And what's the catch? So the catch is, if you live in the States, then depending on shipping costs and the taxes and that kind of stuff, I should imagine they come in at roughly about, I don't know, £60–70. I'll put the price up on the screen. So these are the equivalent of about £50, which sounds like an amazing deal, and I'll go into the stats and things. Yes, they are about £50, but it costs another £60–70 to get them shipped across, so you cannot buy these in the shop. So the problem is, number one, is they get them in a small batch, so you have to be quick off the mark, and you can ship them over, but it's going to cost you an additional £60–70 to ship them over. So the total cost of the shoe is round about £110–120. So when you factor in a £50 shoe, which this shoe is very, very good, and then you factor in it costs more to ship it than the shoe is worth, and this is, I think, one of the first iterations of the shoe, is it worth then paying effectively £110 for this shoe? Let's find out. So just about to go out on the run, and I have to say they do feel really, really good, really, really tacky on the soles, and they just feel really, really good on foot. These are a 9. I think they run a little bit small. Yeah, quite easy to be on foot. I mean, they don't look like a typical super shoe, if you like. I mean, I class a super shoe not based on price, but based on the foams, based on if there's a carbon plate. And these don't look necessarily like a typical super shoe, but for the equivalent of £50, you will get a super shoe feel, in my opinion, and of an overall price of £110, and even just looking at something like this Pegasus 2 here, Turbo 2, which at the time cost £150, and this is a combination foam, there's no plate in here, and I actually prefer the Artist over those. So let's go out, see how they feel, report back shortly. Straight back from the run again, and my first thoughts on these ATREYU the Artist again. Probably better than I've ever been in them before, actually. Felt really good, really bouncy. Even when I tired, they just felt really good all the way to the last. And yeah, I'm really impressed actually. Again, I haven't been in them for a little while, due to an injury that I got, and yeah, I've probably not been in these trainers now for probably a year or so, and I have to say really impressed today in them. I'm tired again. I went to the gym for a couple of hours on Saturday. That was after 3 hours of having to dig and move some stuff as well. So all in all, probably a good 6 hours of exercise. I felt really tired, particularly in the back area. And to bear in mind, I've got some plates and some screws in the base of my spine. And yeah, so I really feel any bumps and that kind of stuff in the road. So any shoes that kind of help with that impact. And I have to say, these really do help with the impact. They are really cushioned, really springy. You can really feel that snap. And overall, I would say that if you can pick these up, I just wish that you could pick these up for about £50–60 here, and not 110, because I tell you what, if these guys could get this Artist made over here, sell it for like £60–70, honestly, this shoe is up there. It is so good. The upper is not the best, it's not the worst. It is a good upper. It really like, I mean, my heels, I know if something will rub, it's gonna rub my heel, and these just don't. They're just amazing. Just the spring off, the feel, just everything about this shoe screams just super shoe. These are better than some of the. I would put this on par with the Saucony Pro 3. It's up there. The upper on that is better than this, but other than that, these are amazing shoes. So, back after the run, and how did we do today? So, the ATREYU, the Artist. So I did just over 5k, roughly about 350 per k, and lap wise, first lap 6:33, second lap mile 6:04, and then the third lap 5:58. So wasn't expecting to go as fast as I didn't plan to today, and then a secondary part to that, warm down just over 3.26 k's at 4:18 as a chill. So both fast paces. I have to say the last mile at 5:58 did not necessarily feel like a 558 mile, not because it didn't feel quick, but just because it just didn't feel as though I kind of was at that pace, and it didn't feel hard at all. And it's an October day, and it's not super warm, it's not cold, and you know, I'm sweating away here, but you know, I don't feel tired, and you know, these speak for themselves. And I guess the conundrum with this shoe is, I would absolutely say to you, go out and buy the shoe and try the shoe, but you can't. It's really difficult to get. So they come out in batches. So I think the October batches, I think that's pretty much gone already. And I think they do batches 2 or 3 times a year, and they go really, really quickly. They do a base model, a trail model, and this. And this is just, I absolutely love this shoe. I would recommend this shoe, even at £110. It would be even better if they could find a way to come over to England and make them here, and even at £70 even, I would say that, you know, that's a deal. I'll give something like this ATREYU Adios Pro. So this is £70. So this was £70, but this was on a deal, and this is old stock now. But at £70, I mean, this is an absolute steal as well. The upper on this is fantastic. The upper on this isn't really, really good. So, you know, I would say comparison wise, I would say that these are very similar shoes. I think the overall finish, the upper is better on the ATREYU Adios Pro 2s, but I mean, if these were £65 brand new, you can pick these up for £65. I would say I equally enjoy this shoe as much as I do this shoe, and the quality of this shoe, because this is a £160 shoe, £180 shoe. This is a £60 shoe, £50 shoe, and it is absolutely amazing for me personally. So where would I put this among the super shoes? So ATREYU Pro 2, I would say it is there or thereabouts with this particular shoe, and it's certainly on par. Vaporfly. Now some people will be probably screaming at me. I prefer this shoe to this shoe. If the Nike works for you, it's the quickest shoe, no dispute for an athlete. I'm not proper, you know, I prefer this shoe over this shoe. So for me, the Artist wins over the Vaporfly. Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. I would say that these shoes are very similar. I prefer the overall feel of the Pro 3 over the Artist, but again, it all comes down to price. Do I, at 180 or two, I think this is still £220, I pay 140 quid for this. Even at £140, do I think that if you could pick this up for £50, is there enough between these two for me to pick this over this shoe? No, they are on par. The upper here is fantastic again, so I would say on par. The Speed 2, the Speed 2 is roughly about, I don't know, these days £150. Picked this up again, I picked these up second hand, basically brand spanking new. I'm not sure if you can see that, so I've only been in these a few times and they're still fantastic to wear. You know, they feel really good. They are slick in the wet. The upper on these are fantastic. What do I prefer? I actually prefer these over the Speed 2s, mainly because Speed 2s I just find them just a bit not flat, but they're very, very good. But this feels more like a top end shoe, because this tends to kind of get just a bit nah, like after like 10 miles it's a bit nah, whereas the Artist just keeps popping, just pop away. So even though this is a good shoe, and again £40, fantastic, but retail price, again, this wins. The Endorphin Pro #1, which wins. I hate that shoe. That's just an awful shoe. This wins hands down. That Pro 1, I just cannot stand that shoe. So no. And the king for me, the Alpha Fly. The Artist versus the Alpha Fly, which one wins? Now, when you talk about price, so if we imagine these are, I think these are worth £220. Again, I didn't pay that for these. I think I paid 150. Is there enough? So let's just say you pay £150 for that Alpha Fly compared to, let's just say, £60 for these. Is there enough difference between the Artist and this? Is there, you know, like £100? My answer on that is yes. The Artist is an amazing shoe. It is an amazing shoe that you can't get, that you can hardly get, and you're certainly not going to pick it up here for £50, £60. And this is an amazing shoe that is very expensive. So say £250. But if you can pick this up for £150, then of course it will win over this. But this does prove that this will push this shoe, because the thought of spending £250 on this, or say £80 on this, this would be absolutely fine for you to race in anywhere. So I said I've never been 26 miles in these, but would I take these out if I could? Yeah, I would, and I think I'd be okay in these. For £260, you know. So I think they've done an absolute fantastic thing with these shoes in being able to make these super shoes available to people, a limited amount of people in Texas, but they are a fantastic shoe. So if you can get this shoe, pick it up, because it is amazing. And out of 10, it has to be a 6 out of 10, because you can't get it. If you can pick it up and they bring them out over here and it's the same as a shoe, it's going to get a 10, but you can't get it. So, and on that note, thank you. This has been Stammerer. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.